Welcome to Claremont House. This is a listed building built in 1777, and I'm sat on our new Chesterfields in almost completed building. I'd like to take you back in time before I started this project, and I did a lot of developments before the property crash that happened, and I'd lost interest actually, and I wasn't going to do any more at all. But then I went on a multiple streams event, and that ignited me again, and I realised I wanted to get back into property. And I signed up for all sorts of training with Progressive Property, which I've enjoyed every single thing. That I've met so many wonderful people, and I've learned a lot. And one of the best things that happened actually, I decided to go to the Cayman Islands, and out there I met Rob Moore and Mark Homer, who I've got to know reasonably well. Fantastic guys, both at different ends of the spectrum of education, and they can teach you anything that you need to know really about property, and that's from somebody that's been working in it for almost 40 years. So after that, I got a bigger plan together and decided that this was just going to be the first one of many apart hotels, serviced accommodation that we're going to do. This particular project has been on site since March and is nearing completion. And really today I want to show you around, show you where we've got to, show you how my background as an interior designer has influenced the end result, and hopefully you can see that we're getting very close, and I hope you like what you see. I just thought we'd show you one of our traditional kitchens to give you a flavour of what we're doing. This is a Magnet and Southerns kitchen. We got it via the LNPG special deal that landlords can get, and I can tell you it's a fantastic deal. And what we've got is some panelled cupboards, we've got copper handles, we've unfortunately not been able to afford granite worktops, but we've gone for the imitation one, which I think is still pretty good. We've got for some fantastic beach block breakfast bars, which are going to have copper stools on. We've put in some really special and quite expensive actually feature lighting. Obviously it hasn't got all its bulbs in yet, but that's over each breakfast bar to create something unique and different. We've gone for several different types of tiling. This one in particular has obviously got the dark grey grouting, and that's to give it a sort of a bit of a traditional feel. And then we've obviously put integrated appliances everywhere. It's got all the usual things, dishwasher. We've also built in, which you can't quite see, but I can see it, is a really good idea, which is a little thin wine chiller unit. So we're going to put bottles of wine in each room and try and sell them on to customers, and hopefully make some money out of it, hopefully. That's our kitchens. One of the fantastic things that we've obviously got in this building is wonderful features, and they were all inherited from lots of stately homes around Leeds actually, and throughout Yorkshire. So we've tried to figure out a way of reusing them, but adding a little bit of a contemporary twist to it, so that they come into the modern age, but they still have the wonderful features. So what we've done here is, we couldn't afford to put an original fireplace. In fact, if you had have done it, would never have matched this surround, unless you've got probably about 10,000 quid to spend on it. So what we've done is we've used some tiles, that we've used the same tiles in the bathroom, so it balances out throughout the apartment, and we've introduced some electric fires, which is a very important thing, because in serviced accommodation, if you've ever stayed in any, literally the moment you turn up you want the room to be warm. So we've put these in, and literally this will warm the room up really quickly. And it's also a fantastic feature as well. Yeah, just to give you a little bit of detail, I'm obviously sat on one of our new beds, which was from Fusion Furniture, incidentally. We're a very good company. Anyway, we've designed some headboards which have got LED lights in the top, and also all the sockets have got the USB sockets in, so you can plug your laptop in there on an evening, or your phone. Every bed is zip and linked. We've also use some Fusion headboards. So basically they're all designed with 3 sockets in, so you can move the beds, make them into twin beds with a central table, or a double bed. And as you go through the room, there's different styles of headboard as well. We've used 3 different types of timber. This one being the traditional one, which is a very dark timber. Then in the mid-range we've got a sort of walnut colour, and then in the contemporary we've gone for a sort of bleached grey look. So again, we've got a different feeling in each area, and hopefully people will enjoy the LED lighting, which when you switch all the other lights off, gives you a lovely warm glow and very romantic. I want to do a little bit of a piece about interior design because basically that's what I am. Originally trained as a commercial interior designer, actually almost 40 years ago, which is scary. But anyway, so the principles of interior design, basically, the one thing that you've always got to remember is you're designing not for yourself, but you're designing for the market and for the people that you want to use, whatever you're designing. So the most important thing is to always think about the lighting actually is key to everything, because that creates the atmosphere, and that's what makes people feel good about themselves and about where they are. So we've spent a lot of time looking at different types of lighting. This building we've got big feature sort of strange filament lights, which is very trendy at the moment, but we've also got LED lighting as well. So the LED lighting has been put on the headboards, on the workstations and on the kitchens. So basically you can set a mood. So on an evening you might just have the LED lighting on, and then during the day you probably would have the big lights on, which is odd, but that's just the way it works. Sometimes you need to have extra lights during the day. And we're also, we've themed each zone in the building. Basically there's 3 different areas. There's the building that we're in at the moment, the room that we're in at the moment is a traditional theme, and that means we've got parquet flooring, we've got some natural finishes like this beach block top, we've gone for a sort of Victorian style kitchens, and then as you go further into the building there's more contemporary things. We've gone for a John Lewis type look actually for the mid-range, which is trying to be a mass market appeal. We've introduced some quite wacky wallpapers and some quite bold colours as well. And then further into the building we've got something that's much more contemporary, and that's got exposed trusses and exposed steelwork, which actually put in, but we've just left it exposed. We've even sticking studs on it to make it look like old original steelwork that we've found, and that's going to give it a totally different feeling. So as well as the development, we've also spent a lot of time developing different themes throughout the building so that it will appeal to different markets that are going to hopefully enjoy using the different spaces that we've created. So each unit is completely unique and special, so anybody that stays will feel like they're coming into something pretty unique, and certainly for Leeds there's nothing at all like this in Leeds, so we're hoping that we will pretty much annihilate the competition. Just want to show you one of our bathrooms. This is a mid-range bathroom, and what we've done here is we've tried to link the whole building together, but in here we've gone for sort of larger grey tiles really to make it a little bit more contemporary than the very traditional ones. This has all been clad in waterproof cladding all the way, all over the floor, all over the walls, so pretty much the shower at the back there is a proper wet room, so we don't have all the problems of the usual silicone leaking and all that problem. And then we've got built-in cisterns, and all the plumbing is behind this tiled panel, which is how we feel that the best way to do it is, because you get rid of all your plumbing, and it's a very easy job just to fit these on at the last minute, which they actually just have been. And then we've got a feature floor which has got multi-patterns in it. It's a little bit more contemporary than the traditional rooms. And then at the end of the building, which we'll show you next, is the really contemporary ones, which are very different again. Just before we complete this video, I just wanted to show you one of the contemporary kitchens, because it's very different obviously from the traditional ones. It's just really simple white actually. We've gone for grey timber all the way through, and just a simple white kitchen with the other thing that we've done, which I think is a good idea, we've taken all the handles off, so there's no problems with them dropping off in 6 months, which is what they normally do. It's got all the same integrated appliances as we mentioned in the traditional ones. But the big thing about these rooms is the features that we've got. Just have a look at those trusses that we found when we started on the project. I wanted to do a little bit of information about how we've done the design and build side of this. And I've been a project manager now for over 25 years. And one of the massive things that you've really got to get your head round is how you program the job. So in conjunction with my joint venture partner, Dave Stocks, he's a professional builder and has been for many years. Together we've put together a program, and basically to start off with you start about the basic things like stripping out, first fix wiring and all those things that you have to follow a sequence of. But the one thing I wanted to point out, and that's why I've got this with me today, is the most important thing about the whole project is getting the finishes program in place. because especially in an apart hotel like this is, there's a whole sequence of things that turn up at the end. There's furniture arriving, there's all sorts of tiny little things that you've got to think about, like where you put the irons, where you put the kettles, you know, where you put the welcome packs. All those things have to be thought about. So you can see from what we've got here, this is the Claremont finishing programme. This basically is about 3 weeks long, and it just looks at the sequence of how we complete each apartment in turn, and the different elements that have to go in. So day by day it tells the guys that are on site exactly what they've got to do, so that, you know, nothing's left and missed really. So if they follow this sequence, which they will, we'll end up with a perfect job handed over where that black line is, and that's it. It's cleaned, contract cleaned, and then we just move in and we start trading the place. So one of the really big problems about property is finance, and one of the things that needs to be considered basically is how you get money back out at the end of it all. You can invest using your own savings, or you can remortgage your own properties, or you can borrow money from friends or find angel investors, and that's basically what we did. Formed a joint venture and financed it, got a bank to back us, and that we bought the building and they financed the development work. Now the important thing at the end of all that is you've got to have a plan for how you get out of that at the end and how you refinance. So we've spent the last few weeks trying to refinance it, and we've actually managed to do it. So wonderful news, because that means at the end of this project, when it's finished, which is only 3 weeks away finishing, at the end of October, we'll basically be getting refinanced, so all the money that we've put into it will come back out again, and we'll pay off the bank that bought the building and gave us the development loan, and we'll pay all the interest that they've obviously charged us, and we'll be back to pretty much having a pretty low rate loan in place, and then we'll just be trading the building, and the money that we make from trading the building will pay off the loan, and so we'll make some nice money out of it. In fact, working on 70% occupancy with the joint venture, we should be making around £190,000 a year profit from this project, and that will be split 50-50 with my joint venture partner. But obviously with that amount of money that we're talking about, I don't really care, to be honest. And in fact, if I do 2 projects, that's fine. There's more people working on it. We can all make loads of money without trying to keep everything to ourselves, which is the one thing that I have learned from Progressive Property. Yeah, well, I just thought I'd show you the outside of Claremont. Now we're almost finished, and I hope you're going to watch the next video, which is going to be the completed project, and obviously that's the most important one to have a look at. But anyway, we're laying the gravel out here. Well, these guys over here are doing it, and I hope you're going to see us, and I hope you'll be impressed with the finished product. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.